Hello everyone, and welcome to today's video. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make your very own traveler's notebook. So what you're going to need is some cardstock, some fabric, some glue, a paper trimmer, some paper, some scissors, and some ribbon for decorating if you like. So we're just going to jump right into it. I'm taking this piece of fabric that I want to use for my outside cover, and I'm kind of working around this size of fabric that I already have. So I'm taking this cardstock and folding it in half, and I'm going to be cutting it down to size to fit the height of the fabric already. So as you can see, I'm kind of playing around with how I think the journal's gonna look, so I just need to trim off that extra little bit hanging out at the side. But this fabric already has some folds in it, so I'm kind of working around that. You can make your notebook any size that you want. I just decided to work with the natural folds of the fabric. So I'm also making sure to leave extra room on the top and the sides of the fabric because we're going to fold it over to give a seamless edge. And so here, as you can see, I'm thinking I'm just going to fold in the fabric completely so I can have a fabric inner cover as well. But I think later I decide that since I'm making two journals, I'm going to alternate the fabric of the inner covers. So you can already see the journal kind of come to life. I was just playing around with how I think it's gonna look. And here is where I think I decide that I'm like, oh, this is a good idea. I can have alternating covers. I'm going to be using one of these for myself, and I'm giving the other one to my cousin, and we're going to be using these journals for a trip that we're going on together. So I thought it would be really cute if they were both matching. So now that I have my inside covers, I'm going to be gluing everything down. And I just want to add that you do not have to cut your inner covers into two separate pieces. I actually don't know why I did this. It probably would have been easier to just cut one big piece and not have an awkward line in the middle, because it kind of came back to bite me later when the journal was put together. I didn't think it was going to be noticeable once the pages were sewn in, but it was. But it was okay because I just covered it up with some washi tape. It doesn't matter too much, it still looked good in the end. So now that I have the front glued on, as you can see, I'm folding over the edges. And if you don't have a sewing machine, because I plan to sew these after to make sure that they stick and they stay and they don't fly up. But if you don't have a sewing machine, I would recommend using a stronger glue, like a Gorilla Glue or a Tacky Glue. So that transition was really pointless, but I'm just trying to tell you that, yeah, I just came back from sewing those edges together, and now I'm going to be cutting down my pages that I want to put in my journal. So basically all I'm doing is just using the journal itself as a template to cut my pages down. Obviously I'm giving a little bit more space at the bottom and top and the sides so it can fit in there nicely. And so those were the pages I decided to use, and here's some like ephemera that I'm thinking of just sewing in the journal. And right now I'm just kind of deciding where I want to sew it in. So what I do first is paper clip them in, so when I go to my sewing machine, I'm just ready to sew them right in. I don't know why I keep doing that transition, but I mean, I guess this one's a little bit better. So now that my pages are finally complete, I'm going to show you how to actually sew in your pages. So what you'll need is a template piece of paper, and you're going to find the very center. So the height of my pages is 7.5 inches, so I marked it at 3.5, and then I just marked it 1 inch in on each side, so the top and bottom, and now I'm going to be marking the holes on the middle page, and then also on the actual spine of my book. So now I'm taking my needle and I am poking holes in wherever I made a mark. And also, if you have these clampy things, they are very useful. They make sure the pages don't move around when you're sewing them, and they stay in one spot. So I'm just poking holes through the pages now and attaching my thread. So you're going to start by going through the middle hole, and you're going to come back through either the top or bottom. In this case, I went through the bottom, and now you're going to go back through the middle. And this time you're going to go through the top. And once you go through the top, you're going to make sure you lace the ribbon underneath the bottom string. And once you do that, you can make sure it's tight so that your pages aren't loose, obviously, and then double knot it. And that's it. So this is the tiny little gap I was talking about earlier. I'm just covering it up with some patterned washi tape, and I still think it looks pretty cute. And there's the journal. I think they both look so cute. I actually decided to add a few charms just to give it a little something else, you know, and oh my gosh, I'm just so happy with how they turned out. They look so cute together, and I love how they complement each other, and I'm very excited to use these on our travels. There's so much space for journaling and so much space to add pictures, and it's also just interesting to look at, and I'm excited to fill these up with pictures once we get back from our trip. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you found this tutorial useful. If you like it, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned to see more journaling videos.